All right, welcome back everyone. Dr. Ben, not a real doctor here. Today, let's talk about the forward roll. Learning the forward roll is kind of an interesting process because it's easier when it's broken down into steps, and it's actually easier when you learn to go backwards before you learn to go forwards. Before you get started learning how to roll, make sure you're in an area that has enough room where you can kind of roll around and flop around without running into anything. When you start running into things, well, you can break things, but you can also run the risk of hurting yourself. You can knock yourself over onto your head in weird ways or run into corners. So get someplace that's nice open space. Secondly, less than ideal today. The ground is frozen solid here, but try and get someplace that has a little bit of cushion. It'll make it easier on the bones that are going to touch down while you're learning this. Also, if you're going to work outside in like a park or something, survey the area real quick and check for dog crap, because nothing is going to ruin your day quite like rolling over in dog crap. Alright, now that we've covered those basic things, let's get started with this. So, to learn the forward roll, we're actually going to start by learning to rock. So, what you need to look for on rocking is that you're making a nice straight path. You want to stay centered on your spine. All right, you don't want a lot of wiggle. I'll show you what that looks like from the side and from the front, or from behind. So if you're falling over and flopping around a lot, you need to keep working on rocking until you have a nice steady path and you can keep it going for a good amount of time without losing your balance or losing your positioning. If you're in an area like this where it's not like flat level ground, there's going to be a little bit of movement, but you should feel very controlled and you should feel like you have a nice stable arch in your spine. So you should have a nice path here along your spine. If you're rocking and you lose your arch, you're going to feel your butt kind of flop down and you're not going to make a nice steady arc back up. Like this. So you can see my butt's dropping. You're not keeping your core tight enough and maintaining that arch in your spine. If you can't maintain that, then you're gonna have a really hard time doing a good roll. So once you're comfortable with rocking, we're gonna move on and make this a little bit more challenging, move the movement a little bit further. So you need to learn to move your head off of line. You don't wanna roll straight over your head when you're rolling. The idea is to roll over, like for example, my left shoulder here to my right hip and create a diagonal line across my body. You're not rolling straight down the middle like this. That's how you're gonna hurt your neck. You're gonna hit hard parts that you don't wanna touch down. So we're gonna be going diagonal across the body. So once you've got your rocking down, lay down on your back, and I want you to just kick your feet over at an angle so that your weight transfers over to your shoulder rather than straight over. All right? And remember to move your head offline. All you want to do is turn your head and look towards where you're going. That'll help get your head offline. All right, and just practice that until you're comfortable. You should be able to do this very slowly and controlled. Don't use a lot of momentum. Use your muscles, control your body. Okay? Now, once you're fairly comfortable with that, you're gonna walk all the way over. And then walk all the way down, belly down. Again. Walk down to belly down. Okay, once you're comfortable with that, you're gonna reverse it. So turn your head offline and you're gonna walk back over so you're back to a face-up position. All right, and then you can just go back and forth that way. That's the basis for a roll, forward or backward. It's the same, straw everywhere. It's the same basic pattern, whether you're going forward or backward. It's just easier to get the motion backward rather than forward. We have a certain amount of fear about driving our face into things, which is totally reasonable. So it's easier to learn going backward. So once you get comfortable doing it that way, you can start putting a little momentum into it. And the other detail you want to add is you can start placing your hands off of your head, which when you're coming down for a roll, you're going to sort of guide yourself with your hands. So that's going to look something like this. All right, one more time. Okay, and as you can see now I'm adding a little momentum. If you don't want to add the hands in, it's going to look like this. And I'm rolling from right shoulder to left hip in these demonstrations. That is basically a forward roll and a backward roll. It's just getting comfortable with the momentum and the distance. Having a nice soft space to work while you're practicing this is really handy. But moving up to a harder surface will really give you a good idea of where you are inefficient. What hard things are touching down. Like you'll notice your shoulder blade will get pretty sore. If you're getting a lot of contact with your head, a hard surface is going to show you that a lot better than a soft surface. And again, this is a skill that you need to practice and keep going with. If you don't, it's going to kind of get away from you. So just going towards the camera one time. And to the other side. So that is a forward roll. You can see I'm using my hands to just kind of guide where I'm going. You're not really resisting with your hands because the idea isn't catching with your hands. It's just directing your energy. So a quick recap on that. Practice your rocking. Practice rocking all the way to your feet back behind your head. Then practice walking over to a belly to a face down, walking back to a face up. And then from there start adding some momentum, bringing your feet over and landing on your feet instead of just flopping. After that, it's just getting comfortable and practicing more and more until you can execute a good, efficient roll. That's it for today. If you have any extra questions, hit me up in the comments down below. There'll be more information in the details. If you liked the video, smash the thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Until next time, keep your life in motion.